This is Eric Stoller for the Eric Stoller Show Man on a Mission podcast with Carolina Lozano, the NutriCoach, CEO of VITA Support. Let's get back into what you were saying about protein, because I think this is the piece that people don't get. And this is what I want to share, because I have a friend of mine who's 66 years old who bench presses 400 pounds. The guy is in unbelievable shape. And by the way, he says, I have a hernia. He has a hernia. I'm like, you're crazy. But you see this guy, and so he's totally into protein. He eats like 300 grams of protein a day.
Wow.
So, and the first thing that somebody shared with me, a friend of mine who was, helping me when I first got started with it, he says, make sure you eat protein. Because everybody that I talk to that gets on this shot, they're like, I'm not eating. I'm not hungry. I go, force yourself to eat. The idea is if you don't eat, that's when you start losing the muscle. Now, you said something, I don't know if you were asking me, but an hour or 2 hours after I eat, I have gotten more conscious. So today, because I know I'm not going to eat like that for a while, I went and had a corned beef sandwich and French fries. But I haven't really eaten much today other than a little bit of your protein, right? And some coffee and some water. And so I knew I could eat that because I knew we were coming here and I wouldn't be tired because I didn't have a big meal that would tire. And I knew I could eat a better choice. But I know a lot of times, I know a lot of people, they go eat lunch and then next thing they're taking a nap. So how do we avoid that? And then really to the first question, how much protein should you really be intaking every day to be on point to really, keep your muscles strong and growing?
Well, first, to understand what happened, your body needs to digest the food. And one of the things that it's beside that, it's our hormones, like insulin. So when you eat a lot of carbs in your lunch, as the must, the insulins go down so fast. And making the digestion, make your your energy go low. Everything is going to the stomach because they have to process. It's like a washer machine.
Yes.
So it's mechanical, it's hormonal, and everything goes down. As soon as you eat more carbs, you're going to have the roller coaster deeper and deeper.
Yes,
deeper.
yes.
So if you go in a lunch with a biggest portion of protein and veggies, less carbs and less fruit. I don't say no carbs, no fruits. I just say less quantity, right?
Yeah.
Or less mix. It will be much, much better. How much protein do you have to eat? It will be depend on several things.
Okay.
Your age, your weight, your activity.
Okay.
If you are doing some exercise and the strength that you are doing or you are looking for.
Right.
So
right.
it depends. It's individual. It's not men and girls and what age. There's a lot of steps to understand.
Right. And actually, I'm sure how heavy you are, how much you weigh now.
In my case, it's 100 grams. And doesn't mean 100 grams, 100 grams of salmon. No, it's 100 grams of protein. And for example, 100 grams of salmon is like a 27 grams of protein. 1 scoop of VITA Support, it's 25 grams. So you have to add what you are eating and the quality of the protein.
Right. And it might be too much to consume that much like food. Or would it be like, say I'm going to eat like 100 grams of salmon or 100 grams of steak? It might be, too much food, where in the protein form, in the powder, it's a lot easier to digest. That's what I find, especially when I say to people, because I was doing not as much of the powder and I was doing some of the shakes, but they have dairy in them and, but they were quick. But I also realized because of the dairy had some different effects.
Different food that doesn't make you digest better the food.
Right. And I was fine. But I did find, especially when I went into the gym, especially when I had like a heavy day of lifting, that I made sure that I ate extra, because I felt sometimes I would be lightheaded because they just, you're pushing your body too hard and there's nothing in there. It's like a car with no gas in it, right?
Exactly.
So I really been telling a lot of people that, because like my neighbor who doesn't want to change her diet, and she starts eating lean protein. And that's how I've been eating. Like today, I've been a little bit cheating a little bit more, But really, that's how I've been really eating, and I shifted that way because it just became used. I didn't have an interest in bread. I didn't have an interest in all of that. And I think a lot of people, not that you don't want to have it, but when it becomes your main form of food supply, it is a serious problem.
It is a serious problem. You say something that it makes me in love. I lose interest on bread.
Right.
Or you lose the addiction.
That's right.
So beautiful when you say that. You lose the addiction for bread, milk, or whatever, because they have a components that make addiction like a real drug.
Without a doubt. Yeah. And that's, again, it's interesting. Somebody said this to me. Why do they put bread on the table when you go to eat, like in a restaurant? Because as soon as you eat the bread, it makes you even more hungry and you're going to order more food. I never knew that.
The dessert.
And the dessert.
Because you finish to eat like a 1 hour after that, 1 hour and a half, and you are going to be starving hormonally. Like your body, it's empty again, and you want to eat more desserts.
Wow. Crazy, crazy. I found the same thing with alcohol. I would find with alcohol, if I didn't drink, it could be anything with a glass of wine, and then I would like to drink Johnny Walker, and then I just had to, shut the whole thing down, and I have to do all or nothing, so I choose nothing. Works better.
It's much better.
So let's talk about some of the other stories. I know you shared with me a story of somebody that you actually healed their wounds, and let's talk about this because we talk about food can heal your body. I always hear food is your medicine. So let's talk about that. Other than losing weight and looking better, the actual property of actually helping somebody heal a wound, that I find intriguing. Let's talk about that a little bit.
When we talk about protein, it said it's depend of the quality and what kind of protein you are going to eat. It's because different protein help different things. Okay, so you can have some protein that helps with joints or skin or maybe your eyes. There is another one that it's going to help with the muscles. Okay. And there is another one that it's going to help your immune system. And there is another one that it's going to help with your energy levels. So it's depend of the protein that you are taking. I have some patients that heal the wounds, and in beautiful times. Like I had one that it was with a tummy tuck twice, and she didn't heal. It was the same space of the body that doesn't heal. In 2 weeks, VITA support, collagen.
Collagen.
And then the whey protein. Why both? Because you need to be nourished in your muscles that the collagen helps to heal the wound.
I see.
It's not going to help you.
And if you're just eating normal food, you're not getting that.
Exactly. And you have to supplement that because just with a piece of soup, it's not going to help enough.
Sure.
And then I have another patient. I remember I received yesterday actually photos. She had 88 years old, and she was with an infection after a surgery, a gastric surgery, and they was with fever, infection, antibiotics, but one was really bad. So doctors was really desperate about it. And we start with an anti-inflammatory diet, helping the immune system to go up or be more optimist with the system. And then healing with this kind of protein, some supplement, and in a few months, she's amazing.
Wow. So I want to get into a minute and talk about VITA, VITA support, because obviously you've created something here that's really having an amazing effect. And so hear stories like that, because most people say, come on, that's not possible. Because we live in a world that if you can't fix it with a pill or a cream or an ointment, you're doomed, right?
Right.
Because we're fixing it from the outside in versus the inside out. And I think it's so important because everybody wants it. Like now, I laugh because of, the trizipatide shots, and I have people there, they take a shot and I go, it's not working. I'm like, you just put it in about 9 minutes ago. I'm like, everything's. So I try to tell people, it's success. It's a journey. It's not a destination. But I find it so interesting with people like my neighbor. I said, are you going to dig in for the long term? Like, she's on a 5-week thing. Are you going to live more than 5 weeks? So let's talk about how your product can be part of somebody's daily life, because this is really what we're talking about, right? Because I know right now as I'm going to make my shift, and I really want to know how I'm going to bring this in daily, right? And I think a lot of people just don't know because they don't have a consistent regimen to lose the weight with or without, a shot. I mean, that's a choice, but really to be consistent and then not wind up gaining it all back. So can we talk a little bit about your amazing product?
Imagine that we are now talking for a few minutes. A wound cannot be healing. Illness that I'm healing with this. Healing. Why to wait for healing? Why you don't prevent first and you don't have to heal? Or you don't have to be rushing healing something, right?
Right.
So why daily? Because your body has to be nourished. And I can tell you, when you go to I was working in intensive care unit. We saw patients that were unnourished with a mechanical respiration ventilator, and it cannot be solved easily because they wasn't nourished properly. So they arrive under stress, they lose muscles immediately because it's under stress, and they fail. So what is the point? To make it before, to live a life healthy, to avoid any problem.
Sure.
To be more independent, to make longer your lifespan, more independent, more healthy. You enjoy the life until the last day.
Of course. And I think so many people don't. The weight, I know personally how many things that I didn't do or wouldn't do, or I always had a lot of things happen and I'd have a gout attack or I was too tired or I wouldn't go. Now I'm up every day, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I have this crazy amount of energy. And this is a little embarrassing, but I'm going to say, I said, one of the things that I thought was an accomplishment, I actually could sit in a stall of an airplane toilet. Not that I wanted to be, but if you ever had to go, oh my God, it was like mortifying. Or sitting in a seat next to somebody the same size as you, and you got two big guys sitting in seats. We need 3 seats, and you're like this. And so from me personally, and seeing so many people, because it goes so many other parts of the life. Talk about if I was to do a regimen, right? Somebody gets on a regimen for healing. Let's say they're going for surgery, like myself, or they have some kind of other issue that they're dealing with. What would you recommend, and how far in advance would you recommend if they got on like a product before a surgery?
I'm going to tell you under my experience, a professional, but a personal.
Okay.
I went to a surgery to remove my implants because of Asian syndrome. I refuse my implants in my body. So they have to remove it, and you have to plan the surgery. So 3 months, 8 weeks, 2 months before that, I start doing an anti-inflammatory diet. And I made that protocol to help people to do the protocol at home by themselves. So you leave all the food, start doing your immune system go up, and be prepared for a surgery. And that means higher amount of protein, less amount of processed or ultra processed food, a lot of oil that it's a really good one, like omega-3 or omega-9.
Okay.
And some supplements that help you to improve your immune system. I start with this 8 weeks.
8 weeks out. Okay.
And after that, I went to my surgery.
I see. Okay.
So the recovery is so fast.
Compared to when you, because obviously your immune system is high, which is probably a critical part.
I can tell you now with the bariatric surgeries, when I got a patient before the surgery, the improvement, the recovery, the healing, and the maintain the weight, it's much better.
Amazing. And I think most people don't have a plan.
Yeah, exactly. So start as soon as possible to doing an anti-inflammatory diet and take more protein.
Now, you started formulating this how long ago?
Well, we started with the researchers 4 years ago, and we start producing it like 2.5 years.
Okay, 2.5 years ago. Awesome. So if somebody wanted to find out more about getting the product or connecting with you, how do we do that?
Well, now we have a web page, and we are going to a next step with that.
Okay, great. So, but they can go see you on Instagram. They go to NutriCoach, right? They can get you. What's the Instagram handle on NutriCoach?
NutriCoach_cook.
Awesome, awesome. So, And you have a book out as well.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that book for a few minutes.
Oh, alimentarte.
Alimentarte?
Alimentarte.
How do
In
you-
Spanish, because the book starts in Spanish.
Okay.
So it's the art how to nourish yourself and how your gut could be so happy, because the microbiome, it's so important to make the anti-inflammatory diet.
Absolutely.
So it's a book that tells you hormonally, culturally, how to heal or get better stomach, intestine, and immune system. And then you have all the options to eat. What is the food that you can eat? What not to eat, and why? And explain you why you cannot eat some stuff. And then how can you start putting it again into the diet, and then the options for food, and then the recipes. So you have in a completely protocol inside of this book. Now it's in English.
That's awesome. And then is it available? Is it on
And Amazon.
So you go to
Any-
Amazon, and what would the title be again? You have it both in English and Spanish.
Yes, and it's the same title. It's Alimentarte.
Alimentarte. There you go. There you go. And again, a blueprint, a recipe, a system that works.
Works perfectly.
Before we close out, any final thoughts or anything you'd like to share? You know, we're going to put this out there to say to people who are like struggling with weight, struggling maybe with an illness, with a wound. What do you recommend, or what would you want to say to people?
First, I was in. I know and I understand where you are feeling. Second of all, you can do it. Don't wait more. You can start now with something.
Here you go. So now, make it happen. This is Eric Stoller. I'm here with Carolina Lozano, CEO of VITA Support, the Nutri Coach. This is the Eric Stoller Show, man on a mission. We thank you for doing this and being with us here. Thank you for being here. And we'll be back real soon. Remember, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Take action, take control of your health, take control of your life. That's what this show is all about, showing you that you can do it for yourself. Just make it happen.